What's up, winners? On this channel we learn to see through manipulation, have fun doing it. Meghan has been a manipulator for most of her life, as far as I can see. But let's take a look here at how her strategies have changed. So we're going to look at clips of the old interview, clips of the newer interview, and see the different brand she's trying and what we can glean from that.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Now, you guys may recognize Meghan from USA's Suits. You play Rachel. Tell us a little bit about your role.
Rachel is the paralegal at the firm, but she's sassy and intelligent, incredibly confident, has this encyclopedic knowledge of the law, and is incredibly valued at the firm. She's also the love interest for Mike Ross, and we ended season 2 with a bit of a saucy finale, definitely for Rachel. And so we're starting season 3 now, which will begin airing July 16th. It's pretty exciting.
Very exciting.
So one thing you're going to see with it doesn't matter what she's doing is she loves talking about herself. She won't stop. But in this first interview, she's more bubbly. Obviously, it's a different topic, but you're going to see more of the image she's trying to present. At this time, she was trying, I'm this fit actress. My life is a movie. I've always been rich, valley girl, whatever. And now
you are, though. I wasn't expecting it, but I understand why you are, because there is a through line, I think. And when you've been through any level of pain or trauma, I believe part of our healing journey, certainly part of mine, is being able to be really open about it. And I haven't really scraped the surface on my experience, but I do think that I would never want someone else to feel that way. And I would never want someone else to be making those sort of plans. And I would never want someone else to...
All right, I try and let it play for her full thing, but she never stops. So big difference to say is the appearance of the word salad has gotten much, much more. She's always talked too much, found herself to be amazing, but that's the first difference. We're gonna go for a few different ones, and the context here is Harry and Meghan started a internet forum, which you could probably do for like $50 or something, as part of their millions of dollar charity alleged tax haven. And she's just talking about herself, how hard it was that she had to tell her husband that she was going to, things we can't talk about, if he didn't move to California with her and do what she wanted. So I guess she really understands the pain of parents losing their children, because I don't know. So anyways, word salad, see some other differences.
As an actress, of course, you have very long hours sometimes.
Oh,
what do you do when you're on set and you need like an energy boost? What's your go-to trick?
Definitely a green juice. I mean, I think...
And something I just skipped over is she's impatient even listening to the question. She couldn't care less.
Sometimes something that just gets right into your system is a nice pick-me-up.
And who introduced you to that?
I'm a California girl, so I think all those hippy-dippy things have been in my DNA.
I've always been rich.
Probably since the womb. But no, I think it's just important to keep...
This just blows my mind. We already know this, but that Meghan goes around now, we couldn't afford the Sizzler buffet, how you could literally have interviews out saying the exact opposite thing. So again, we're noticing though there's a similarity as Meghan's always the expert. Meghan's the expert. Like, oh, you want to know about fitness? I mean, I'm Meghan. I know all about that. I'm from California. That means that I just know fitness. There's all these like researchers, people do exercise science, physical therapists, but I'm from California. So we're seeing that's a similarity, but it's much lighter. So she wants to be adored as herself. But again, I said a few times, she evolves with the times. Well, she doesn't. Her image does. She's always the same person who wants the attention. That used to be a thing. Hey, I'm rich. I'm blah, 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 lifestyle of the rich and famous. And now the thing is being a victim. And I'll say quickly with being a victim, that's not any particular side, whatever issue you're on. If you notice nowadays, being a victim is on almost any side of any issue or political thing. Everyone thinks they're the victim for the most part. That's just a weird thing that's happened.
Else to not be believed. So if me voicing...
Not everyone, but like the people really into it. Obviously not you guys.
what I have overcome will save someone or asks or encourage someone in their life to really genuinely check in on them and not assume that the appearance is good so everything's okay, then that's worth it. I'll take a hit for that.
Oh, how good of you. Now, huge thing, her ego's gotten a lot bigger, a lot bigger. We've been seeing recent articles that talk about how she had a messiah complex. It's totally. And I don't think a messiah complex is about the person who thinks they're the messiah, not about helping the issue. It's about everyone knows that I've saved them. So you could just see she has much more entitlement. This sense of being the ultimate victim, like, I've suffered so much. I married a prince. And, if someone can learn from my sacrifice of marrying a prince, then, like, I mean, I've just done so much for everybody. And, like, thank you so much for asking if I'm okay after marrying a prince and complaining. Like, you're right, that being an extreme victim can be a sense of entitlement. Is I've done so much, I deserve so much. No one should criticize me. I always think of the guy who was running Hitler in the 1930s and 40s. His book was called My Struggle in German. Obviously, I'm not saying Meghan's that bad. No one's that bad. But, just thinking that one's a victim doesn't mean someone's a good person, right? It could be justification for all sorts of things. It could be justification for anything you do is okay, right? Like Harry attacks his family. That's okay.
Keep a healthy lifestyle, especially when you're maintaining hours like that, to just make the right food choices.
Absolutely, especially for the energy levels. And of course, you need to stay in shape because you are a big actress in Hollywood.
Oh.
What do you do to stay in such fantastic shape?
Thank you for saying that. I love running, but I think you have to find a workout routine that really speaks to you beyond trying to
You know what, guys? I wanted to say there's differences, but there's too much that's similar. She's always got the huge ego. She always looks mad at the other person talking, and the person near her almost always looks uncomfortable. And she always demands that she's complimented allegedly in interviews. You'll see every interview recently. She's like talking about being a businesswoman, and it's like the beautiful Meghan Markle, the stunning. It's so embarrassing. You'll notice so often she's introduced as the beautiful when she's going on stage or something. Clearly that's her PR person or whatever, handler comes and tells them to say that.
I think you have to start somewhere. I think the simplest thing that anyone watching this or anyone who's able to make change, to look at it through the lens of, what if it was my daughter? What if it was my son? My son.
All right, I need to give you guys context here. Meghan's gotten much worse. So she's always had a huge ego. But let me just give you the background here. For those of you who don't know, it'll be 2 seconds. This is when they are talking about online bullying causing harm to children. Basically, they're using it as a vehicle that, hey, if you say things I don't like online, that means that you need to be censored, because if you're not censored, then there could be online bullies that are harming children, or harassment, totally unrelated, but it's taking their issue and tying it to something. So it's very hard to argue, right? So this is manipulation, right? It's like, whatever, you say something like, hey, I really don't think that lunch is a good idea. We can get some better food at your office. And they're like, what? That's a business that might go shut down. And do you not support small businesses and businesses that are owned by X, Y, and Z, or some nonsense? That wasn't your point, and that's not even true. It has no relation. They do that, right? So to push that. So we could see then the level of manipulation she uses has gotten so much more extreme. And the arrogance. Hey, imagine your child passing. Do that now. That's a disgusting thing to say to people. It's like, no, you're crossing a line there. You're crossing a line. So she's gotten a much bigger ego. That's not something you could see she's enjoying that a normal person feels comfortable saying, right? So she's gotten much worse. I don't think these narcissistic tendencies, they don't tend to get better with time, right?
My daughter who comes home, who are joyful, who I love, and one day, right under my roof, our entire lives change because of something that was completely out of our control. And if you look at it through the lens as a parent, there is no way to see that any other way than to try to find a solution.
Shut up, you nasty jerk. So again, you see she's very serious now, and I'm just going to compare that. Just keep in mind that
In
image you
shapes.
just
I
had of
love to
her.
jog. I do a lot of hot yoga, moksha yoga specifically, and then Pilates at Pilates Platinum in LA.
She's always been
Component of
an
it. What are
insufferable.
some of your nutritional habits?
I definitely try to eat as clean as possible.
So a big thing is she's tried to insert a lot of words and that aren't needed. So she's trying to change it into like some kind of scholar. Like, you were an actress who played hot girl in lingerie #3. Literally, her parts were in lingerie, were performing things. That's her first ever part. Sorry, Meghan. And then saying, oh, I was objectified. It's like, you didn't have to take those jobs. And now she's like, I'm a scholar and expert and everything. It makes no sense. So she really changed to be like, I'm this wise stateswoman. Just really changed the image. Just gotten more and more grandiose. Now she's the expert on all things female business founding. Well, anyways, guys, hopefully that wasn't too tough to listen to Meghan. I'll see you all soon.